So, episode 5 and 6 basically makes this show a must watch going forward. I mean, if it wasn't a must watch up until now, these episodes definitely make it a must watch. So, yeah, you all are missing out if you are not watching this show because this is pretty great as far as like storytelling goes. Like something so different from what the usual Marvel stuff that we've seen lately, and it's like amazing how something like this is like still exists. It's like, whoa, that's rare for them to like make these storylines and something so deep, and there's dialogue and there's actually characters talking, and you can feel things are building up, and there's a storyline that's building up, and characters have meaning. It's like whoa, such a difference from like what we see in the movies as of late. So episode 5, I that ending was a big one. There's like the whole fight, Magneto, and there's an attack in the city. I'm not gonna go too much into detail of spoilers and stuff, but there are still some spoilers to discuss a few things. So the end of episode 5, there's a whole freaking attack. There's a freaking Sentinel Godzilla attacking these mutants, and from the looks of it, Gambit is gone. They killed off a legacy character. I mean, it does seem like it. There's also another hint of it at the end of episode 6. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's not, because I don't like when they do that. I don't like when they continue off like a show much later and they kill the character off. Hopefully that is not the case, because Charles Xavier, spoiler alert, is alive. And we see that, and it comes out of like nowhere. You're all of a sudden, you're like, what? And it does add to it that you do have to watch the OG series before watching this, because I haven't watched it in a long time, and it does feel like I'm disconnected because there's so many things that are popping up now. It's like you need to watch the OG, because wherever that left off, it's taking off from there, but a lot of the dialogue or the storylines and stuff, they're literally continuing on. It makes sense because this is literally a continuation from that series. It doesn't take place 20 years or 10 years or something later. It's a continuation. So I like that how the stories are being interconnected, and it does basically follow up from where the OG left off. Now, some storylines might feel like, okay, they're kind of being redundant and they're kind of going backwards and kind of touching it. We've seen that stuff before. Let's see. Sometimes it does feel like it between 5 and 6. Other times you're like, okay, this might go in a different place. I like also what they did with Storm. That actually was good. They didn't prolong it, and 5, 6 episodes down the line, they're like, okay, we gotta make something out of it. We're gonna do it quick, but not too quick. But we're gonna have like this inner demon dialogue out of it. Now that demon thing, I'm not too sure where that's coming from. If that kind of thing existed in the OG series, but I still like the way her fears were kind of consuming her, and that's what really the case was. Like no matter what kind of medicine hits them or what kind of like anti-mutant thing vaccination hits them, they're still mutant within themselves, and they can find, no matter how strong that was, they can find their way back. It's just they gotta fight their demons in like physical form. So that stuff sometimes, like I was like, this is great, but at the time it was also confusing. So I do wish maybe they could have just went into a bit longer. And then there's like this, story kind of a thing where it's like story armor, where this one character is like, it's really sick, and then literally the following scene he's able to jump around and he has bandages on and he can move around. And sometimes like you do feel like things are just happening so quick, and like they just want to get to the next thing real quick. So there are those things that make the show like not perfect, but it's still like a 9 out of 10. Like between the Magneto stuff and the Gambit stuff at the end of episode 5, and between like the Storm and Charles Xavier surprise in the episode 6, there's a lot of like great storytelling in here, and it's amazing how they're able to pull it off and make it seamless and not seem like, it's getting pushed on just for the sake of like making the show. It feels organic and feels like, okay, there's a story here that they can tell. And let's see what they do with Sinister. Honestly, you've seen him do stuff before. I wish they would have went a different way and maybe something else came back. But Sinister is back. And I'm pretty sure he was part of the OG in like a big way. And he's back again. And where this goes, let's see. Hopefully they make something interesting out of it. So all in all, like so far, as if you want to put a number on it, it's like 9 out of 10. Like some of the Jubilee stuff and some of like the story armor stuff, sometimes I'm like, okay, and some moments just really pass by quick and you wish the episodes were longer so they can linger on and have some more dialogue. But still, it's almost like perfection, this series. So that is kind of my take on the two of the latest episodes. What's your take on it? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you all soon. Ta-da. A cow.